Commander, sir, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Lucky Irabo, the component commanders, the Acting General Officer commanding 7th Div Nigerian Army, other principal staff officers, headquarters theater command here present, formation commanders, commanding officers, senior officers, gentlemen officers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Captain E. Emmanuel Onyachonam, and I'm most delighted to welcome you all to Headquarters, Theater Command, Military Command and Control Center, Operation Lafia Dole, the venue for this live press conference today, 2nd February 2017. As you may all be aware, the military is currently conducting mop-up operations to clear the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists, in line with the Theater Command's resolve to keep Nigerians abreast with every development in the ongoing operation. That is why we are having this live press conference today. It is my honor and singular privilege to most respectfully invite the Theater Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, to kickstart the press conference. The Theater Commander, sir.
The component commanders, General Officer commanding 7th Division, the various commanders here present, the liaison officers, distinguished members of the 4th Estate of the Realm, good afternoon. I think I should say Happy New Year. This is the first time we're meeting in the year 2017, so Happy New Year. Truly, it's going to be a beautiful year, a wonderful year, a year that holds a lot of promise. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted this afternoon to welcome you to this headquarters for the usual update on activities of Operation Lafia Dole. In spite of the regrettable occurrence of 17th January 2017 at Ran, our gallant troops have continued to gain traction by recording successes in our operational engagements. And so to that effect, before proceeding with the brief, I'd like us to please rise up for us to pay respect to those who lost their life in that encounter. Please rise up. 1 minute silence. May the souls of those who lost their lives rest in peace. Amen. Please sit down. Now, I feel that I need to update you on what has happened on that, with respect to that incident. After the sad incident, an emergency response team was established. A well-coordinated response involving the troops of Operation Lafia Dole, United Nations Office of the Coordination for Humanitarian Affairs, the ICRC, MSF, and Borno State Government was initiated. Helicopters and ambulances from the UN, ICRC, and of course Operation Lafia Dole, the air component, as well as Borno State Government were employed. A surgical center was established in Ran to help stabilize the wounded before being evacuated to Maiduguri. The commanding officer of 3 Battalion and the medical officer of the unit, among several other medical personnel from the humanitarian agencies, were involved in the rescue operation in Ran. On the 19th of January, the federal government delegation led by the Chief of Staff to the President, and which also included the Ministers of Defense and Information, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the service chiefs, paid condolence visits to the Governor of Borno State, the Shewa Dikwa, and humanitarian agencies at the UN OCHA office here in Maiduguri, where, on behalf of Mr. President, the message of condolences were delivered. Similarly, on the 20th of January, at about 14:30 hours, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Barotai, accompanied by some principal staff officers from Army Headquarters and the General Officer commanding 7th Division, visited Iran in Kalabagi. The Chief of Army Staff entourage visited the scene of the incident and condoled the Bulamas. Equally, I visited the location along with the maritime and air component commanders to see things for ourselves. In all, the response was very prompt, and I wish to take this opportunity to appreciate the various contributions and support that came from everyone. The understanding that was shown by the government and people of Borno State during the trying moment is very well appreciated. I have constituted a board of inquiry to ascertain the circumstances that led to the unfortunate incident, and so far it has been established that the strike was a mistake. Statistics show that 112 persons died from that incident, and 97 others were wounded. The wounded are in various hospitals receiving treatment. And I think that based on this figure I've given, I'm sure there will be questions that will be asked, because in some reports earlier on, some conflicting figures were given to the effect that even the chairman of the local government, of Kalabagi local government, gave the figure of 234 and at on stage 236. That, of course, we will clarify if he so wish. He, of course, has apologized and is on tape that he was misled to give that figure. But what we have verified, based on the statistics and the records that we have from the constituted investigation panel, that is the figure, and I felt very obliged to release it to you at this stage. All the wounded are in various hospitals and they are receiving treatment, and in fact some actually have stabilized and they have actually been discharged. Now, within the period, we have also conducted mop-up operations, and as part of the operations to dominate Sambisa Forest, on the 14th of January at about 0900 hours, troops recovered several items. Items recovered include a general purpose machine gun, AK-47 rifles, 2,269 rounds of 7.62 millimeter ammunition, RPG bomb. Of course, I'm sure you'll see them right on the screen, and as well as other equipment. In that encounter on that day, of course, 5 Boko Haram terrorists were killed, and including 2 who were suicide bombers. On the 23rd of January, about 0900 hours, own troops at Dikwa conducted operations to Sinabaya and Maskite village. The patrol cleared the village, and of course, there was a little resistance, and in the process, 9 Boko Haram terrorists were killed, as well as the recovery of some equipment that were captured, including 6 Dane guns, a GPMG, 4 mobile handsets, and the others are shown right on the screen. Now, also on the 16th of January, about 15:30 hours, our troops deployed at Mangunu received information of Boko Haram terrorist activity around Mararia village, which is along Mangunu-Mate Road. The troops, of course, in conjunction with the civilian JTF, trailed and had an encounter with the Boko Haram terrorists. And in the process, a Boko Haram terrorist was killed, and 2 AK-47 rifles, as well as 2 magazines, and 8 rounds of 7.62 millimeter ammunition was also recovered. On the 18th, troops, of course, also at Musamari, Musara, as well as Gunari, intercepted 8 men who were conveying items that are suspected to be for the Boko Haram terrorists. The suspects, when they were searched, we discovered that one of them had 2 letters, with one of the letters requesting for the supply of 4 anti-aircraft guns by the Boko Haram terrorists. And other items in their possession included torchlight, handsets, and large quantities of wares, including drugs. And the sum of 341,000 naira was found on him. Perhaps that was maybe what was given to him to go and source for those items to go to supply to wherever they are located. That investigation is on, and it's actually giving us very useful information that has been aiding our operations. On the 24th of January, at about 0900 hours, own troops in conjunction with Civilian Joint Task Force and vigilantes conducted operations to Massa along Dikwa, Gulumbagana Road. The troops cleared Majigite as well as Ngwangwa villages, and later had encounter with the Boko Haram terrorists. Now, in that encounter, 2 Boko Haram terrorists were killed, and equipment that were captured included a bandolier, a camouflage trouser, and the others that you could find on the screen as we make progress. Equally, on the 26th of January at about 11:30 hours, own troops supported by the Cameroon Defense Forces conducted operations to Gulumbagana, and 3 Boko Haram terrorists were killed. And of course, what you find on the screen are some of the engagements in Gulumbagana. That is in Gulumbagana. You will realize that even Boko Haram, at some stage, they've started digging trenches. So that tells you how the stage they were actually getting to. And the rest, these are the vehicles, the gun truck, that, and then the arms and ammunition that we capture from them in Gulumbagana. Also, between 17th to 24th of January, troops conducted a very long-range patrol along just from Konduga as it's following to Yale and the direction of Gulumbagana. And then, of course, several recoveries were made, and I want you to view them right on the screen. So many hostages were rescued from Yale Oasis. These motorcycles belong to the Boko Haram terrorists, which of course we gathered and they destroyed in situ. These were some of the wares and foodstuff that they had. Go ahead, continue, just run through. These are, you could see how they camouflage this. So even when the ISR is flying above, you cannot see that this is a meal which they were using to sustain themselves. These are part of the grains that they had in their reserve. Yes, so run through. We also realized that they even run a medicine store. So